What's up everybody, Dennis here and welcome back to yet another video. Today, we're diving deep into the world of Adobe Photoshop Beta, specifically looking at how it can be a game changer for all you wedding photographers out there. But as with any new tech, there are some risks involved, so grab your coffee, sit back and let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about what the Photoshop Beta is. It's Adobe's testing ground for new features, and one of the most exciting ones right now is the Generative Fill. This feature uses AI to fill in gaps in your photos, which can be a lifesaver when you're dealing with unpredictable wedding environments. But remember, it's still in beta, so it's not perfect. It's like a new lens. You need to learn how to use it to get the best results. Now, you might be wondering, Dennis, what's so special about this Generative Fill? Can't I just use the clone stamp or healing brush? Well, yeah, you can, but Generative Fill takes it to another level. It doesn't just copy pixels from one part of the image to another, it actually understands the content of the image and generates new pixels to fill in the gap. It's like having a mini artist inside Photoshop that paints in the missing parts for you. Now let's talk about the opportunities this presents. Imagine you're shooting a wedding and someone walks into your perfect shot. With Generative Fill, you can simply remove them and the AI will fill in the background. It's like having a magic wand. This could save you hours in post-production and allow you to deliver perfect photos every time. But it's not just about removing unwanted guests. Maybe you're shooting in a beautiful garden, but there's a trash can in the background. Or maybe there's a car parked in front of the church. With Generative Fill, you can remove those distractions and let the focus be on the couple. And let's not forget about those indoor shots, the ones where you're dealing with mixed lighting and weird shadows. Generative Fill can help you clean up those backgrounds and make the couple stand out. Another great use case is when you're dealing with old or damaged photos. Maybe the couple wants to include a photo of their grandparents in their wedding album, but the photo is torn or faded. With Generative Fill, you can restore these photos and bring them back to life. But here's the catch. Because it's AI, it doesn't always get it right. Sometimes the fill might look unnatural or out of place. And the last thing you want is to deliver a photo where the background looks off. So while it's a powerful tool, it's important to use it sparingly and always double check the results. Another risk is over-reliance. It's easy to think, I'll fix it in post and not put in the effort to get the shot right in the camera. But remember, no amount of post-processing can replace good photography. So use Generative Fill as a tool, not a crutch. And let's not forget about the ethical considerations. When you're removing or adding elements to a photo, you're altering reality. And while that might be fine for a fantasy photo shoot, it's a bit more complicated when it comes to wedding photography. After all, you're documenting one of the most important days in a couple's life. So it's important to have a conversation with a couple about how much editing they're comfortable with. So there you have it. The Photoshop Beta with Generative Fill is a powerful tool for wedding photographers, but like any tool, it needs to be used with care. As always, the best photo is the one you get right in camera, but it's great to know that Photoshop is there to help when things don't go as planned. And remember, it's still in beta. That means Adobe is still working out the kinks and improving the feature. So if you try it out, make sure to give them your feedback. Who knows, your input might help shape the future of Photoshop. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a few tips. First, always shoot in RAW. This gives you the most flexibility in post-production. Second, don't rely on Generative Fill to fix your mistakes. Try to get the photo right in the camera and not use Photoshop to enhance, not fix. And finally, always keep learning. The world of photography is constantly evolving, and the best way to stay ahead is to never stop learning. That's it for today. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe if you aren't already, and drop a comment below letting me know what you think of Photoshop Beta. Do you love it? Hate it? I want to hear from you. See you in the next one.